They didn't just abandon Gokekli, they buried it on purpose. And even today, no one fully understands why. Gokekli Tepe is not just an ancient ruin. It is one of the oldest known monumental sites on Earth, dating back more than 11,000 years. That means it was built long before what we traditionally call the first civilizations. The site is made up of massive circular structures, each one carefully arranged using enormous stone pillars. Some of these pillars weigh up to 20 tons. They were carved, shaped, and placed with surprising precision. And what makes this even more fascinating is what is carved into those stones. Animals, symbols, abstract patterns. Some of them are familiar, like snakes, birds, and wild animals. Others are harder to explain. We still do not fully understand what these carvings meant to the people who created them. But here is where the mystery deepens. To build something like this, you need planning, you need coordination, you need large groups of people working together toward a shared goal. Then, according to the traditional timeline of history, humans at that time were still living as hunters. They were not supposed to have cities. They were not supposed to have advanced tools. And they were definitely not expected to build structures on this scale. So how did they do it? That question alone has forced historians and archaeologists to reconsider what early humans were truly capable of. But the biggest mystery is not how Gokekli Tepe was built. It is what happened after. Because thousands of years after the site was constructed and actively used, it was deliberately buried. Not destroyed, not left to decay, but intentionally covered, layer by layer. The structures were filled in with soil, stone, and debris, until the entire site was hidden beneath it. And what is even more surprising is how carefully this was done. The burial process actually helped preserve the site. It protected the carvings. It shielded the pillars from erosion. It froze. A moment of ancient history in time. This was not random. This was not an accident. Someone, or some group of people, made a decision to bury this place. Then they had the time, the effort, and the intention to carry it out. So what do we actually know? We know the burial was intentional. We know it happened gradually, over time, and we know it required just as much coordination as building the site in the first place. Which raises a serious question. Why would a civilization go through the effort of building something so massive, only to cover it up themselves? There are a few theories. Some researchers believe the burial was ritualistic, that it was part of a symbolic act, possibly to close or retire the site after it had served its purpose. Others suggest environmental changes may have forced people to leave the area, and in doing so, they chose to bury the site to protect something they believed was important or sacred. Then, there are more controversial ideas. Some believe the knowledge connected to Gokekli Tepe may have been intentionally hidden, not lost by accident, but buried on purpose. But here's the truth. We do not have a complete answer, and that is what makes this so important. Because if people over 11,000 years ago were capable of building something like this, organizing it, and burying it with intention, what else were they capable of? What else existed that we have not found yet? And how much of human history is still missing? Because this leads to an even bigger question. Was Gokekli Tepe the beginning of civilization? Or is it the remains of something far older that we have completely forgotten? And if that is true, then everything we think we know about the origins of human civilization might only be part of the story. Part 3 goes even deeper.